Alright, so I'm mudjoe2, this is Crypt the Necrodancer, and I guess we'll just get right into it. So we'll start on 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Crypt the Necrodancer. It's a rhythm roguelike dungeon crawler, which basically means that all of these levels are procedurally generated. So there's patterns to how the levels are generated, but I don't have like this level layout memorized, so I'm kind of playing it by ear. Also, it's grid-based, which basically means like you move on a tile and all the other enemies move on tiles, like you could see here in this room. So what we're going to try to be doing is basically just getting through levels as quickly as possible and getting the best items we can to help us go a bit faster. So torches are really nice, especially with DLC. You can basically see a lot of the area around you, and it helps to read maps much easier. And this is a secret shop because it's a cracked wall, so we want that weapon and we want this. So the Warhammer basically hits the 6 tiles in front of Cadence in a 3x2 pattern, and the little snowman there will freeze enemies if it contacts them, which is really useful for bosses. And I kind of glossed over it, but the ring here basically gives me an extra heart container. It also removes 1 enemy from each room, and it downgrades all the mini bosses on the floor to the easiest variation possible. I don't really want the weapon. I'm kind of trying to upgrade this Warhammer just to be a bit stronger. So basically the trick with Zone 2 here is the exit spawns like opposite from where you spawn. So like on this generation, I could tell it's going to be down because the branches go like up and right. Get some food just to be a bit safer. I should take the spear just because I have the armor anyway, and it's a bit faster than the hammer at this point. So I guess I should explain weapon tiers. Basically, I have blast right now, which means they'll do 4 damage, but if I take damage, the weapon will break. So we want to try to not break the weapon as best I can. So I heard a trapdoor on the left, which is where I was gonna go, but the boss ended up being down here, so we'll just go this way, I guess. Another glass shrine up there. Oh, I guess I should explain, like, shrines, basically, that's a really good weapon. I actually want that more than this spear. That's kind of what I was looking for. The glass shrine turns all items you have on you into glass, which is pretty powerful, but can be scary if you don't have any armor, because if you take 1 hit, all of that stuff will break. But for now, we're fine. It's not left. I guess it's top right. Zone 3, the generation's kind of all over the place, like it can be really hard to read sometimes. If you have a torch, it helps a lot. Which is why I like to get torches before Zone 3 even hits. And the war drum there just doubles your damage if you tap it once, which is why I did that before hitting the king. The king there basically has 4 health. It has 5 health, but the Warhammer only does 4. And if you hit him and you don't kill him, he teleports away, so basically you kind of want to just one-shot him to make the fight a bit faster. So the Warhammer is really nice for rooms like that, it just like totally minces everything. But I'm gonna back up a bit from that room because the Warlock is really in a bad spot. So like that little like hooded enemy is a Warlock, and basically they're weak, but if you kill them you teleport to their spot, which can be really dangerous if like enemies are trying to move into that spot. Like that. I guess I should explain since I kind of didn't bring it up. The way enemies damage you, basically, because this game is like a tile system. If enemies try to bump into your tile, then you end up taking damage. So you generally want to obviously kill them or just avoid going into the tiles that they're trying to move to. Just a leprechaun, he's just chilling out, you know. Leprechauns basically spawn once in any run on a big pile of gold. And if you kill them, they drop a lucky charm, which like kind of increases the chances for you to get like good items in some spots. So I guess here I want red. That's a good item. They're basically spiked headphones. They give you +2 damage, but if you miss a beat, they break. So now this Warhammer will do 6 damage, and if I do the drum, it'll do 8 + 2, so 10 damage, which actually 10 is really good. It'll be good in a fight coming up. It should do 10. I guess we're going to find out if it does 10, but it should do 10. I want to get into that over there because I can see the trapdoor. So Zone 5, the gimmick with this zone is basically there's a big electrical conduit running throughout the whole floor. And if you follow it into a big room, you'll get to where the boss is, and you could see if you attack enemies while you're on the conduit, it zaps all of the enemies adjacent to the one that you hit for 1 damage. So Zone 5 likes to throw like these really big swarms at you. You just stay on the conduit and you're fine. So I should do 10 damage here. Yeah. So it was Dead Ringer. I was just checking for bombs there to try to get this fight to go a bit faster. I wasn't really that lucky though, so I'll have to do this fight the intended way, which is basically see these buttons on the floor, and you and Dorian here just kind of line up on the buttons. But I guess I'll make it a bit faster by just bombing him out. And then go over here and bomb the loot out. So the loot basically does 1 damage, but it's not like you bump into an enemy, you just move adjacent to an enemy and it attacks them. And it's the only weapon that could damage this last boss, which is why I need to get it. And I didn't mention it, but Necrodancer kind of moves in a certain way depending on where those two are, so you kind of just Oh, that's time, by the way. So yeah, it's kind of a lot to explain in a pretty short run, but I hope the commentary wasn't totally awful.
Wow, alright. I guess we'll cut that.
So yeah, not dying
Well,
in a run is pretty good. That's not a great
let him
like
go on for a
speed
little bit.
time. Like the world record's like 5 minutes 30 something seconds, but for like a marathon time, I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, that's Necrodancer.